There is a mistake a lot of men make when they hear the phrase, trigger her fear of losing you. They think it means playing games. They think it means acting cold for no reason, ignoring her on purpose, posting to make her jealous, or pretending they have options just so she starts panicking. That is not strength. That is a man still trying to control her reaction, because deep down, he is afraid she has too much control over him. Real fear of losing you does not come from tricks. It comes from the moment she realizes you are not the same man she could leave on pause while she figured out how much access she wanted to give you. It comes when your energy changes in a way she can feel, and she knows it is not an act. A woman starts fearing the loss of a man when she can no longer predict that he will stay through anything. Not because he threatens her, not because he becomes cruel, not because he starts throwing other women in her face. It happens when she sees that your kindness has a limit, your patience has a limit, your time has a limit, and your presence is not something she gets to keep while treating it casually. That is the part that makes her look twice. When a man keeps showing up no matter how she moves, she may enjoy him, she may depend on him, she may even like him, but she does not feel the weight of losing him. Why would she? He has already shown her that even when she is inconsistent, unclear, moody, and careless, he will still be right there trying to make things work. So this is not about becoming a man who does not care. It is about becoming a man who cares without surrendering himself. Because the man a woman fears losing is not the loudest man. He is not the man begging for one more conversation. He is not the man sending long paragraphs to prove his pain. He is the man who can treat her well, watch how she handles it, and step back when she starts treating his effort like something cheap. He does not need to announce every change. He does not need to explain every pause. He lets his movement speak. And when she realizes the man who used to carry the connection is no longer standing in the same place, that is when the fear begins. Stop being the man she can mistreat and still keep. If you want a woman to fear losing you, the first thing you have to stop being is the man she can mistreat and still keep. That is where everything starts. Because if she can be careless with your time, careless with your feelings, careless with your effort, and nothing changes, then your presence starts feeling too safe in the wrong way. She knows you will still text. She knows you will still answer. She knows you will still soften first. She knows that after every dry reply, every ignored message, every canceled plan, every little disrespect, you will find a way to understand her. And maybe you call that love. Maybe you call that patience. Maybe you tell yourself you are being mature. But at some point, patience becomes permission when there is no change attached to it. A lot of men do not lose women because they were not good enough. They lose respect because they stayed available after being handled poorly. You can be a good man and still teach a woman not to take you seriously if you keep rewarding the same behavior that is hurting you. She gives you half effort, and you give her full access. She becomes cold, and you become warmer. She makes you feel unwanted, and you work harder to be chosen. That is not how you make a woman fear losing you. That is how you train her to believe you are not going anywhere. And once she believes that, she no longer has to treat your presence like something valuable. She can keep you around like background music, something playing quietly while she decides what she really wants. The shift happens when you stop making mistreatment comfortable. You do not need to insult her. You do not need to disappear dramatically. You do not need to send a speech about everything you have done. You simply stop giving the same access to someone who is not treating it with care. If she is warm, you are warm. If she is consistent, you become more open. If she starts moving like your effort does not matter, you do not keep pouring more into her just to prove your heart. You step back and let her feel the difference. That difference is what wakes her up. Not your anger, not your begging, not your explanation. The fear starts when she realizes she can actually lose the version of you she became too comfortable mishandling. Move like you have already accepted the outcome. One of the strongest things a woman can feel from a man is that he is no longer negotiating with reality. He is not trying to force the connection to become what he imagined. He is not sitting there hoping one more conversation will finally make her understand. He is not checking his phone every 2 minutes like his whole piece is waiting inside her next reply. He has reached that quiet place where he still may care, but he has stopped fighting the truth in front of him. If she wants to be present, she can be present. If she wants to keep acting unsure, he will not keep dragging himself through confusion to prove he is loyal. That kind of energy is different. It does not shout. It does not perform. It simply says, I can handle whatever happens here. This is where a lot of men accidentally weaken themselves. The moment she starts acting distant, they become emotional negotiators. They try to pull her back with more attention, more explanations, more availability, more softness, more reminders of what they have done. They want her to see their heart so badly that they stop seeing her behavior clearly. And she feels that. She feels that you have not accepted the possibility of losing her. She feels that you are still trying to talk your way out of what her actions are already showing. That gives her comfort, because she knows you are still attached to the outcome. She knows you are still trying to save it. She knows you are still standing there with your hands open, waiting for her to decide if she wants to give you enough to keep hoping. But when you move like you have accepted the outcome, everything changes. You stop arguing with silence. You stop chasing mixed signals. You stop trying to make a woman act ready when she keeps moving like she is not. You still treat her with respect, but your energy is no longer begging for a result. You can say what you mean once, then let life answer. You can enjoy her when she is present, then return to your own world when she is not. That is what makes her feel the possibility of loss. She realizes you are not trapped in the story. You are not waiting outside the door forever. You have already made peace with the idea that if she cannot meet you properly, you will keep moving. And a man who can keep moving is a man a woman cannot treat like he is stuck. Stop giving boyfriend effort to unclear energy. One of the fastest ways to lose your weight in a woman's eyes is to give her the benefits of a serious place in your life while she is still giving you unclear energy. You are acting like a boyfriend, while she is acting like someone who enjoys access without responsibility. You are checking on her, planning around her, being emotionally available, listening to her problems, giving reassurance, making time, staying loyal in your mind, and treating her like she already belongs to you. Meanwhile, she is still moving in a way that keeps everything loose. She likes the attention, but she does not want to define anything. She wants your care, but she does not want to match your effort. She wants the comfort of your presence, but not the weight of showing up properly. And because you keep giving more than the situation has earned, she starts enjoying a position she has not committed herself to. This is where you have to be honest with yourself. Are you giving because the connection is actually mutual? Or are you giving because you are hoping your effort will make it mutual? There is a difference. When a woman is unclear and you keep increasing your investment, you are not building closeness. You are trying to buy certainty. You are hoping that if you are patient enough, sweet enough, loyal enough, useful enough, she will eventually wake up and choose you properly. But that usually does not create fear of losing you. It creates convenience. She gets to receive your best without having to decide anything. She gets to feel cared for without having to carry any part of the connection. She gets to enjoy your boyfriend energy while still keeping one foot outside. And you end up frustrated because you are giving commitment to someone who is only giving you access when it suits her. The move is not to become cruel. The move is to stop overpaying for uncertainty. If she is unclear, your effort becomes lighter. If she keeps the connection undefined, you stop treating it like a relationship in your head. If she wants the deeper version of you, She has to bring deeper effort, too. That is what makes a woman feel the shift. She notices you are no longer available for long emotional calls whenever she feels lonely. She notices you are not rushing to fix the silence. She notices your attention is still respectful, but it is no longer overflowing into a space she has not earned. That is when the fear starts to rise, because she realizes she cannot keep receiving boyfriend-level care while giving you casual-level commitment. She either has to step closer with clarity, or she has to watch you take your best energy back. Quit saving a connection she keeps making difficult. At some point, you have to stop rescuing something she keeps helping to break. A connection cannot survive on one man constantly repairing what two people should be protecting. If every misunderstanding becomes your job to fix, every dry season becomes your job to warm up, every awkward silence becomes your job to fill, and every emotional distance becomes your job to close, then you are not building something together. You are dragging it. And when you drag something long enough, the other person gets used to being carried. She may not even see how much effort you are putting in, because your effort becomes part of the background. You become the man who will always restart the conversation, always explain the problem gently, always find a way to make peace, always swallow the frustration so the connection does not fall apart. This is where a lot of men confuse love with emotional labor they were never supposed to carry alone. She gives mixed energy, and you turn into the interpreter. She acts distant, and you become the repairman. She says she does not know what she wants, and you become the patient man, standing there while she enjoys the comfort of being wanted. She makes the connection difficult, then you make it easy again by lowering the requirement. And every time you do that, you teach her something without saying it. You teach her that she can bring confusion and still receive your clarity. She can bring inconsistency and still receive your consistency. She can make the road rough, and you will still be the one smoothing it out so she does not have to feel the weight of what she is doing. The fear of losing you starts when you stop saving what she keeps making difficult. Not with drama, not with revenge, not by turning cold overnight and pretending you do not care. You just stop carrying both sides. If she leaves a conversation hanging, you let it hang. If she keeps canceling without real effort to make it right, you stop offering new plans. If she keeps bringing confusion after you have already been clear, you stop trying to explain your way into peace. Let the connection show you what it is when you are not the only one holding it together. That is when she feels the gap. That is when she realizes your effort was the reason things still had life. And when a woman realizes the connection starts weakening the moment you stop carrying it, she finally sees what she was taking for granted. Stop making her feel like she has unlimited chances. A woman will not fear losing you if every mistake quietly comes with another chance. She may say sorry. She may act sweet for a moment. She may give you just enough warmth to calm you down, and then slowly return to the same behavior, because nothing truly changed. You accepted the apology, but you did not change access. You heard the excuse, but you still gave her the same version of you. You told yourself this was the last time. Then when she came back with a soft voice or a little affection, you opened the door again like nothing happened. That is how unlimited chances are created. Not with words, but with repeated access after repeated disrespect. The problem with unlimited chances is that they make your patience look cheap. A woman may not think this consciously, but she can feel when there is no real line she can cross. She knows you get upset, but she also knows you come back. She knows you feel hurt, but she also knows you will still reply. She knows you say you are tired, but she has heard that before. So your frustration stops carrying weight. Your words stop landing. Even your silence starts looking temporary because she has seen you return too many times without anything being different. And once she believes every version of her behavior will still be forgiven quickly, she has no reason to fear the loss of you. She only has to wait until your emotions cool down. This is where you have to become more honest than emotional. A chance should mean something. It should come with changed behavior, not just a sweet moment. If she keeps doing the same thing after knowing it hurts you, you do not keep handing her fresh access like the past never happened. You step back and allow her to feel that something has changed. Not because you hate her, not because you want to punish her, because your presence cannot be renewed forever without respect. When she realizes that your patience has an end, she starts feeling the seriousness of your value. She understands that you are not a man she can keep disappointing and still keep completely. That is when fear begins to look real, because now losing you is not just something you talk about. It is something your actions have made possible. Give her access only when she treats it like it matters. The fear of losing you becomes real when access to you stops being automatic. Not because you become rude, not because you start acting like she has to beg for your attention. It becomes real when she notices that the deeper version of you only comes out where it is handled with care. Your time, your calls, your emotional presence, your loyalty, your patience, your late-night attention, your willingness to understand her. Those things should not be available at the same level no matter how she behaves. If she treats your presence like something ordinary, then your presence should not keep arriving like nothing happened. A woman cannot fear losing what she keeps receiving after doing very little to protect it. This is where you have to stop confusing love with open access. You can care about her and still decide that not every version of her gets every version of you. The woman who is honest with you gets more of your honesty. The woman who respects your time gets more of your time. The woman who makes space for you gets more of your presence. The woman who only comes around when she needs attention, comfort, help, or reassurance does not get the same access as the woman who shows up with consistency. That is not bitterness. That is order. You are not a public place where she can enter and leave whenever her mood changes. You are a man with a life, a heart, a mind, and limits. And if she wants the closer version of you, she has to treat that closeness like it has value. When you start living like that, she feels it. She notices you no longer answer every dry message with warmth. She notices you no longer drop everything because she suddenly wants to talk. She notices you no longer give long explanations to someone who keeps pretending not to understand simple respect. Your energy becomes more measured. Your effort becomes more connected to how she treats you. And that is when the fear begins to grow, because she realizes your attention is not sitting there waiting to be picked up whenever she feels like it. She realizes the door is still there, but it does not stay wide open for careless behavior. A woman values access more when she understands it can change. And if she is serious about you, that realization will make her handle you differently. Don't trigger fear with games. Trigger it with your absence from disrespect. The goal is not to scare a woman into loving you. That is weak. A man who has to create panic to feel important is still being controlled by her reaction. The real goal is to become the kind of man she knows she can actually lose if she keeps mishandling him. That does not come from tricks. It does not come from pretending you do not care. It does not come from posting pictures just to get a reaction, replying late on purpose, or acting like another woman is waiting in line. Those games may get attention for a moment, but they do not create real respect. They only show that you are still trying to move her emotions because you do not know how to stand still in your own. What creates fear of losing you is the quiet change that happens when you stop participating in your own disrespect. You stop carrying a connection she keeps weakening. You stop giving boyfriend effort to unclear energy. You stop making your pain easy to recover from because she knows one sweet message will bring you back. You stop staying available in the same way after she has shown you she is not handling your presence properly. And the moment you stop doing that, she finally has to face the real question. What happens if you are not there anymore? What happens if the man who used to understand everything no longer explains? What happens if the man who used to fix every silence lets the silence stay? What happens if the man who kept giving her access starts giving that energy back to himself? That is the moment your value becomes visible. Not because you shouted it, not because you begged her to see it, not because you wrote a long paragraph about everything you brought to her life. She feels it when your effort is no longer covering the space she left empty. She feels it when your absence starts showing her how much your presence was doing. So do not become cold. Become clear. Do not become cruel. Become harder to mishandle. If she values you, your shift will wake her up. If she does not, your shift will free you. Either way, you win. Because the man you are becoming is no longer built around the fear of being left. He is built around the truth that staying with the wrong energy can cost him more than walking away.